I think even with the tools becoming so good and being able to replace certain parts, that people with a good skill set ahead of the curve using the tools can find a way to stay creative and solve problems that it won't solve by itself.
Yeah, two angles on that. One is, sure, anybody that's truly passionate and follows the needs that are out there, ideas will always be valuable. If you have a new idea and you pursue it, of course, that's always going to be relevant. Is it going to be relevant in mass? Back in the early 2000s, I graduated, even when I went back to school after a while, I graduated in a class of 4 people at Boise State that were programmers. And now they're well, I don't know about now, but 5 years ago, they were cranking out hundreds.
Yeah.
They were like, oh, we need programmers. Yeah. That level of mass, no.
Yeah.
That is not, there's not always going to be a job for that.
Yep.
I don't think.
Yeah.
But if you're saying, hey, I've got an idea and I want to put it in place using these tools, using the best of the best tools, adopting the newer tools, yes.
Yeah.
Will there be a job for you out there to do it if you're not kind of coming up with your own idea? I kind of don't think so. I mean, I think that just our need in our company for developers has gone down because we can get things done so much faster that I don't think that will always be out there. I think there'll always be a need for people to do stuff. Yeah. Which tools they're using. Yep. And who's going to be needing it, or whether they're going to define their own need as an entrepreneur. Yep. I don't know. We'll see.
I think we'll need more AI architects and prompt engineers, and it's creating a new need having all these tools out there, right? People learning how to use them. And that's the interesting thing when there's, with any emerging technology or new technologies, is nobody's defined here's how you do it yet. Everyone's like trialing different tools and different processes, different platforms, and then it will start to come to light of like, we actually need a bunch of people who learn this process or learn how to create, workflows within certain new platforms that are out there. Right now it feels like the AI platform Wild West.
Yeah. And I don't know what the next Wild West will be, but it'll come about. But the other point of what you said, where there will always be a need for it, there will always be a place for it. And I've used a couple of different examples. I can never remember them, so I always come up with a new example. But there's a type of wood shop out there where people use nothing but hand tools. And they appreciate the art of it. Yep. And there are people who buy the products that they make because they appreciate the art of it or the process of it. And I think that the same thing will exist. There will be people out there that say, you know what, this is hand coded. Yeah. And I'll be kind of geeky, but I used Vim or I used VI to code this entire thing, and that's a text only. Yep. Software. Yeah. Where somebody there used to be a lot more purists out there that say, oh, that's how I write. Yeah. That's how I write my code. There will always be a place for people that want to do that and want to participate in that. Yep. It will be a very small group. Yeah. But they'll be their artisans of their own craft. Sure, that'll always exist, but it'll probably be like 8, Yeah. And you go to this city and you'll go see them through this glass enclosure where people are like, oh, look, they're in there doing that. Yeah. And then they'll move on to the rest of the world. But yeah. Sure, if you want to hold on to it, I bet you could find a place. Yeah. And you could have a really noteworthy
Yeah, niche.
Niche, but
yeah,
but you'll be one of 4.
yeah,
and
yeah. I've said the same thing to other industries. Like we're, again, coming from some of the construction technology, survey, engineering space where, we talk about as new technologies come up, at some point when they start becoming widely adopted, you either adopt new technologies or you kind of fall behind, right? You can probably always continue doing some level of work, but other people who adopt the tools will be faster, will be cheaper, will have more innovative deliverables. And if your goal is, just keep enough work for you, and you could probably always do it. But if you want to actually grow and be competitive and build at scale, then you have to keep up with what is current. What are other people adopting? What is the industry demanding? I think that same idea with any type of industry or technologies that are coming out, it's really how I see innovation in whole is how do we improve process so whatever our goal is as a business, we can do it faster or cheaper and remain, high quality. And I think that's how most industries and companies have to approach growth and adoption of tools and tech in order to stay relevant.